Hey everybody, we are here with Alex Pettyfer. He is coming out with a movie September 17th to theaters called Collection. And it's a film that explores the high stakes, the major debt collecting, uh, underground business, and tons of crazy action. You got to see the trailer. Alex, how are you today?
I'm good, my friend. Thank you so much for speaking to me, and thank you for the support. And by the
Absolutely.
way, you sold the film, and I don't need to be asked what's the film about. You've given a great setup there. So
Well, I mean, I want to get into the meat and potatoes of it.
okay.
So how did you get involved with this project here?
Um, I was sent the script and really found it super interesting, the subject matter and the topic. I found the character Brandon dealing with this um, very tumultuous, poisonous world that he had created for himself, um, and then the duality of then him falling in love and having to come to a realization of the situation that he is in prior to falling in love and how to escape that, and that cause and effect of our own action, and taking responsibility for our own actions. I found that really compelling, and that arc, towards kind of escapism. And then I met Mariana, who is the director of the movie, and I just fell in love with her vision. It's a very masculine world, and her perception on what she wanted to tell as far as the storyline and the story. I just was, yeah, I was in awe with what she wanted to do.
Um, and I was going to ask about her and her direction style. She's definitely like exploring a more masculine, you know, underbelly of this world. How was she as a director, and did she give you the freedom to really dive into that character and explore things? I mean, what was it like working with her?
Yeah, I mean, she's obviously made like 9 films before, and she had a very specific vision that she was after, cracking into more of the feminine energy of the character. And obviously, as I mentioned, this character falls in love, and um, as we know, there's many songs and many books and films made about love, and it's really like a redemption for a lot of people that are suffering or dealing with suffering. And her take on that was really interesting for me. And she, as a director, uh, her guidance and kind of creating this space for you as an actor creates a real sensibility of feeling secure. And she also guides you, you obviously do the work and the research and you create the character, but at the end of the day, she is there to kind of navigate what she needs as a as a whole and as an entirety for the film. So yeah, she's a great director and an even greater person, and yeah, I really think yeah, I'm very blessed to have worked with her.
Excellent. You talk about your Let's talk about your character Brandon, and how he gets stuck in this little mess that he's in. What what is it that triggers him to want to get out?
Um, I think what triggers him is him meeting this woman, Christina, and by the way, I hope it's Christina because I've done 3 movies since then, so I hope I'm getting the right name. But meeting this woman and falling in love, and what I find really interesting is we fall in love, but is love the answer to redemption, or do we still feel like we need to redeem ourselves of our sins prior to falling in love? Do we feel guilty that we can fall in love and move forward and kind of feel like we have a clean slate? And that's another element to the story of like, is self-sacrifice a virtue for a bigger cause, or could we just fall in love and move forward? And this struggle that this character has, this element really is that's in the movie is kind of interesting for me, and was interesting as an actor to kind of explore that.
Yeah. And what I find particularly interesting is that, well, what I find essential rather is, for any film, any action film in particular, is that it has to have some sort of a kernel of real exploration there.
Mm.
Uh, you know, do you not agree? You can dress it all up with all sorts of guns and violence
Yeah.
and craziness, but
Well,
if the idea isn't there,
yeah, the sad thing is that, and it is sad that this movie is based on reality. You know that there is a lot of people out there that are struggling and are in these very unfortunate situations, and that doesn't mean because they've been made redundant, or there's certain people that just happen to become in an unfortunate situation like this just out of mistake.
mm,
I was telling another journalist, um, or another film critic, that I said, 12 years ago, if your car was towed in the UK, it's illegal now, that these private um, companies would come and pick up your car and charge you
oh,
an
they
arm
do
and a.
that in the US.
Yeah, I mean, it's illegal now here, but they would charge you, and you have no excuse. They have this authority where it's then put onto private land, and you have to pay to get it released, and it's criminal activity. Like, it's not government run. It's someone that's paying a company that don't want you to park in front of their garage or their gate or whatever it is, and then they also used to then save money. Other companies started where they would just put a clamp on you,
Mm.
and they're not run by the council or the government, and you're standing there and they're saying £400, please, and you're saying there's no ticket on my window. Why? And so there's also these unfortunate events with this, and not everyone is in the fortunate position where they can just let go of £400 or however much it is, and people really exploit these situations, and it's really sad. And um, my knowledge on this topic and this unfortunate situation that's happening, um, with a lot of people that are in debt, especially in the times that we're in right now, because of the hardship that we've had to endure the last, or a lot of people have had to deal with in the last 2 years. It's a really hard reality to face, and so going in and kind of being in that mindset, playing that character was very difficult. Very difficult. And then having the element of being in that character and coming to the realization of what he's doing was not far from the truth of understanding the film that I was making.
Mm.
So as far as an audience, I think we live in a generation now that, unless you're watching these big IPs and have been following these films for 10 years, you kind of want, a quick, fun movie to watch. And this is definitely a quick, fun movie to watch that unfortunately has some very hard realities and truths to it that are very human. But yeah, I think people will enjoy the film.
Excellent. Was there any scene, a particular scene that you really enjoyed shooting or really enjoyed how it came out?
Um, I love my scenes with Mike Vogel in The Office. I love working with Mike. Mike is a great actor, and yeah, I felt very blessed to be able to work with him. Yeah, no, just working with Mariana, working with Mike, working with everyone. And, yeah,
Well,
making a movie, getting a movie off the ground, making a movie is very hard, and there's a huge appreciation to be on a set and making essentially art, or some sort of creative process. So
and
yeah, I feel
hitting
very.
crafty for snacks and
Yeah.
well, I mean, I suppose this kind of answers my next question. Did you prefer the dialogue heavy scenes, or did you prefer shooting the action sequences?
I love dialogue. I don't know why. I get very nervous about dialogue scenes, especially when there's like 13 pages of dialogue, which I had in one of these scenes. It got cut down a lot, but in the editing room, but there was a big chunk when I'm explaining everything to everyone about the debt collection. But there's a very meditative kind of process with those things. So yeah, I prefer probably the dialogue. I also love action. Don't get me wrong, but yeah,
I
I like
suppose
I don't know, like I like being in a scene, and yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's that the dialogue is right there. You can experience that one right there,
Yeah,
and it's fun to do that. But the action scenes look much better after the whole situation's done.
yeah.
How has the reaction to the film been so far?
This is the first press junket I'm doing, talking to people, and
Well,
either
meaning,
they're very good liars and they say they've enjoyed the film, or they really have. So, but the questions that I've been asked today have been really, yeah, really beautiful, and kind of very specific, and yeah, I, I say this, and I say this to everyone: whether you enjoy the film, whether you don't enjoy the film, at the end of the day, you can put people in front of the painting and everyone's going to have a different reaction. But as long as there's an appreciation of knowing what goes into making a movie or making art, any creative process, that's all that matters. And some people like films, some people don't, and yeah, I don't read too much into it.
well, no, you shouldn't really. The fact is, you're out there working, and you're out there creating. So
Yeah,
it's like keep going.
thank you.
So this is a horror site, mainly. Do you have any horror films that you're crazy about? Do you even like the genre?
I love the genre. I've done a few horror films. I did Tormented, which was
Uh-huh.
kind of like quirky. I don't know if you ever saw this movie I did when I was like 18, 19 years of age. It's like a quirky British horror film, kind of like Edgar Wright in vein. Um, and my production company, we have two horror films that we're about to start shooting. My company is called Dark Dreams Entertainment. And so one is called The Lost Ones, which we have an incredible director that did Lowriders, and he is the helm of that film, which is a very, very, it's going to be good, I think. And then we have another film that we are just closing up on the final. It's been written, but we've had a very, very, very good director come on board, a great, I think, especially someone that is a fan of the horror genre, come on board. And yeah, I think we'll be making that at the first or second quarter of next year. So two horror movies in the works that one is in pre-production, and one will probably go into pre-production in the
Wonderful.
new year. Yeah.
Well, come back and we'd be happy to talk to you about it and give you our support.
Yeah.
Again, we're just happy that things are being made.
And what's your favorite horror film?
Oh, Halloween, 1978.
Wow.
Period. Done. What about you?
Favorite horror film. And now, are we talking gore, or are we talking about psychological thriller?
No, we're talking about your favorite horror film. It doesn't matter.
Horror in general. I think I'm gonna have to go Exorcist.
Oh, that's a great one. That's a solid movie.
Yeah, I think Exorcist. Does Rosemary's Baby count?
Absolutely.
It does.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. I loved Rosemary's Baby. I loved The Exorcist. Going more new age nuance. I loved the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
See, that's good too. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact is, you enjoy it and it's fun. That's what horror is. So,
but I definitely, as I get older, I do make movies, but I definitely, as I get older, get more like watching them. I get more sweaty hands. I'm not
really.
I'm like, yeah,
oh, that's so funny.
My sensibility hasn't gone down. My sensibility towards them has gone up. get a little heavy-hearted when.
Did you catch Hereditary?
No, I didn't.
See it. See it.
Did you watch
Because
The Witch?
yeah, I loved it.
And Midsummer?
Midsommar was like, I mean,
Yeah.
it.
I just know what you thought of this, because the movie that I directed with the cinematographer of The Witch and obviously Lighthouse and all these is Jaron Blashki. He was the cinematographer for my movie Backroads.
Nice. Yeah, Witch was great. That was
Yeah,
so good. I found Midsommar to be a little indulgent. It
yeah.
was a little long, but
Do you know
see
what?
her.
Do
Go
you know
ahead.
what? I watched Hereditary. Do you know what I
Ooh.
also like? That was like a game changer.
Mm.
I remember going, and I remember sneaking into the movie theater. I sneak in. There's like a little movie theater in the village that I lived in when I was growing up, and I went and watched. And I thought it was a documentary, and I watched this, and I watched these 2 or 3 people for 90 minutes or whatever. And can I swear on this?
Absolutely.
I absolutely shit myself, and it was the Blair Witch Project. I watched it, and I was like, this is revolutionary now later on, because I was watching thinking this is fucking real. Like, and I was like, and I was a young boy, and it really affected me psychologically. I remember coming home that night, and like, it was, yeah.
It affected everybody,
Yeah.
but once the cat got out of the bag, oh well.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, just thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me.
Of course.
You guys, everybody, Collection is coming out the 17th to theaters. This is Alex Pettyfer, and keep an eye on him because he's also going to be bringing us not just action thrillers, but horror. So, Alex, best of luck on this release and the ones in the future. Thank you so much for talking.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the time.
All right,
Thank you.
look forward to hearing from you again.
Thank you.
All right, bye.